Good day, everybody. I hope you're all doing all right. So let's start today's tutorial. Okay, today we're gonna delve into filling in the gap type questions, or as you might know, form completion. In addition to that, we're gonna cover some practical tips and do one exercise together. Okay, firstly, please note that form completion questions are quite common in section 1 of Ielts listening test. And usually, it's a conversation between two people. And in Ielts section 1, we have two types of filling in the gap or form completion questions. So, type 1 is called an application form. So as you see in this example, the student is talking to a member of the youth council to make an inquiry about joining the youth council. So the student has to go through the application process, and therefore the type of filling in the gap is called application form. Now let's look at type number 2. As you see in this example, it is called an order or quotation form. Well, the reason is that, in this case, the customer wants to order something, a box of something, or whatsoever. So that's why it's called order form completion. Okay, now let me elaborate on tips. So here is the tip number 1. Read the instructions carefully. Yes, instructions are super important. I mean, you have to know how many words you're supposed to write in filling in the gap type questions. Let's imagine you're given an instruction, write no more than 2 words or a number. And if you write more than 2 words in that blank space, I'm afraid it is for sure you're gonna make a mistake, and your answer will not be considered right even if it is close to the original answer. So be careful with instructions. Don't make silly mistakes because of the instructions. Okay, what is next? Tip number 2. Predict the answers. Try to predict what the answers might be, because this is going to help your mind, to focus on what to listen out in the recording. And occasionally, you'll be able to predict the answers by taking into account following things. For example, you can guess the answer if you know that imaginary answer is a surname, name, date, a phone number, or you can also guess that word if you know whether it's a noun or it's adjective or it's a verb. So you get the idea what I'm trying to say. You can always predict that if you know what kind of word needs to be filled in that gap. Furthermore, we have tip number 3. Beware of paraphrases. Well, in all type of listenings, you need to look out for paraphrases or synonyms in the recording. Well, that's why I recommend you to underline those paraphrases or synonyms before the actual recording starts. And you can do that by quickly scanning the questions and again predicting what kind of synonyms or phrases that are similar in meaning could be used to convey, the same information that the speaker wants to convey. Because in your question paper, you're gonna have slightly altered version of speaker's thoughts, right? So you need to think about the synonyms that might be used by the speaker in regard to the altered version of the text that you see on your question paper. Okay, last but not least, we have tip number 4. Questions come in order. Well, in section 1, it is very easy. So the questions will follow a chronological order. So first you're going to hear the first question, and then you're going to hear the information in regard to the second question, and so on. So please be aware of this and try to apply the tips that I mentioned so far. Okay, enough for tips. Now it's time to practice. Let's go. Okay, guys. So this is order form completion, and now you have 30 seconds to look at questions from 1 to 8. Take your time, pause this video. Okay, let's begin from question 1.
Good morning, Packham's shipping agents. Can I help you?
Oh, yes. I'm ringing to make inquiries about sending a large box, a container, back home to Kenya from the UK.
Yes, of course. Would you like me to try and find some quotations for you?
Yes, that'd be great. Thank you.
Well, first of all, I need a few details from you.
Fine.
Can I take your name?
It's Jacob Mkere.
Can you spell your surname, please?
Yes, it's Mkere.
Okay, let's see what we've got. We need to spell the name correctly for the first question, right? And the right spelling here is... Okay, look at the script. The name is Jacob Mkere. So it's spelled like M-K-E-R-E. I hope you got it right. Okay, let's move to question number 2.
Is that M for mother?
Yes.
Thank you. And you say that you will be sending the box to Kenya?
That's right.
And where would you like the box picked up from?
From college, if possible.
Yes, of course. I'll take down the address now.
It's Westall College.
Is that W-E-S-T-A-L-L?
Yes, college.
Westall College.
Okay, guys, what you've got. Let's look at the tape script. So the address is Westall College. It is spelled W-E-S-T-A-L-L. Please check this spelling. Okay, now let's move on to question number 3.
And where's that?
It's Downlands Road in Bristol.
Oh, yes, I know it. And the postcode?
It's BS8 9PU.
Right.
And the answer for question 3 is BS8 9PU. I know, it's a bit complicated, but it is what it is. You're right, it's Ielts and it's not a piece of cake. Sometimes you'll encounter combination of letters and numbers. It's a postcode. Okay, now let's look at questions 4 and 5.
And I need to know the size.
Yes, I've measured it carefully and it's 1.5 metres long.
Right.
0.75 metres wide.
Okay.
And it's 0.5 metres high or deep.
Great.
So, the question 4 is 0.75 meters, and the answer for question 5 is 0.5 meters. It's, in the recording it says 0.75 meters wide, and it's 0.5 meters high or deep. So, at this point, the speakers have tried to catch you out by changing the form of some key words in this question and the next question from the adjective form to the noun. Look at this. Long is an adjective, right? But if you change that to length, it becomes a noun. The same goes for wide and width. And high, deep are also adjectives. You can find the nouns, height and depth. It can be useful to learn some common proportions as well. For example, 0.25, you can say it as a quarter, 0.50 as a half, or 0.75 as 3/4. Now, let's turn to questions 6 and 7.
So I'll calculate the volume in a moment and get some quotes for that. But first, can you tell me, very generally, what will be in the box?
Yes, there's mostly clothes.
Okay.
And there's some books.
Okay, good. Anything else?
Yes, there's also some toys.
These two answers can be written in either order. Okay, look at the screen. Here is the section of dialogue they appear in. And we see that the man answers that there are some books and there are some toys. So in no particular order you can write the answers. Okay, let's move on to question number 8.
Okay, and what is the total value, do you think, of the contents?
Well, the main costs are the clothes and the books. They'll be about £1,500. But then the toys are about another 200. So I'd put down £1,700.
Well, the answer for question 8 is £1,700. Well, you'd ask how? Well, because the speaker says, well, the main costs are the clothes and the books. They'll be about £1,500. But then the toys are about another 200, so I'd put down £1,700. If you noticed, a synonym has been used, right? The cost, which in other words is the value. And if you guys already know, recordings often include discussion of the cost or price of things. And you're most likely to hear the price expressed as dollars, pounds, or euros. So learn the symbols and know how to write the amounts. Alright, thank you for watching. Okay, guys.
Okay, I think we did an amazing job for today. So now it's high time to rest, to regain new energies and hack your IELTS skills. See you next time.